Mick Dizzle Gaming coming at you. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you are doing well today. So this is my first episode in a weekly series covering some interesting gaming news that I'm hoping you'll find interesting as well. We will have some fun, we'll laugh, we'll cry. I'm just kidding. Hopefully you'll laugh though. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you dig the content, make sure to subscribe. If you dig it and you want to see more of this, let me know in the comments as well. Let's get started and talk about Bethesda. Well, they had a bad booty call this week. Let me explain. Last month, Kotaku came out with a report around the crunch culture that enveloped the development of Fallout 76. It's a really good read, and I've left the link to the article in the description. You may remember when Kotaku broke the Red Dead Redemption 2 crunch culture piece at Rockstar just after the Red Dead Redemption 2 release. So the article is what you would expect. You know, people were expected to work lots of overtime, lots of extra hours. They would get burnt out. People would quit, which probably increases the need for more extra hours from the organization. Well, Kotaku obtained a recording of a meeting with the head of Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booting, addressing the contents of the Kotaku report. It was pretty bad. Booty's statements come off with no accountability and a little bit defensive, to be honest. Like, I get what he was going to say, but he probably shouldn't have said some of this because it's just going to cause more people to talk. One statement Booty said that was the challenge with a lot of these articles is that they look backwards, sometimes pretty far back in time. One, he's downplaying the significance of the report. If you've looked at the swaths of reporting on how video game designers have taken advantage of developers over the last number of years, well, this is indicative of the industry. And as well, it's not limited to the video game industry at all. I think lots of industries with major deadlines and millions of dollars on the line go through this as well. They may call it crunch culture in the video game industry, but outside of that, we may call it the hustle culture. I mean, Fallout 76 only came out 4 years ago, and a number of those people at Bethesda's leadership are still in those positions, so why should people think things have changed? As well, this was an all-hands meeting with Bethesda, so I'm guessing they didn't address it to anyone's satisfaction prior to having to have an all-hands-on-deck meeting around it. Here's another rough statement from him. It was just part of the industry. I don't say that to justify it, I'm just saying it was part of the culture of our industry. I literally slept under my desk early in my career, and we looked at that as a badge of honor. I get what he's trying to say, but as the head of Xbox Gaming, he probably shouldn't say that to his all-hands-on-deck meeting addressing this. Work smarter, not harder, my brother. And this hustle/crunch culture creates problems all around. It almost creates like a Peter Principle effect. If you don't know what the Peter Principle is, The Office is a good example of it. Michael Scott was a great salesman. He got promoted to a manager because he was a great salesman, even though he didn't demonstrate the appropriate competencies to be elevated like that. I know it all turned out alright for him, but that's another story. So what happens is that a lot of people that work really hard but might not be exceptional at their job end up getting promoted. And the ones who just want a normal work-life balance feel obligated to do this extra hours because, hey, they might lose their job if they don't. If a company does not like what you're doing, and although there are some laws to protect you, they will get rid of you. Booty also said that overtime should be a result of personal excitement and passion rather than mandated by the schedule. However, the realities of the workplace are much different. The strategy by Bethesda is to really push overtime, but say it's not mandatory, but also put a workload there that is not really possible to finish without piles of it. And it creates a hostile culture. Imagine you're that one person who can't work any extra hours because they have another job or have something else going on, but your entire team is still there. That is a sneaky strategy used by piles of employers. But don't you worry, Bethesda employees. Booty says there's an internal HR department you can anonymously report to. That all is pretty laughable. Nothing says independent like the HR team that is paid to protect the company, right? There's a lot in there, and it's really interesting. If you're into it, I'd recommend giving it a read. So we talked about a bad booty call. Let's have a bit of a palate cleanser.
I'll kill her. That's it.
It's pretty slim for new and exciting games coming out over the next few weeks. Although I am kind of pumped for Stray that comes out on July 19th on PlayStation and PC. If you're a fan of Western games, an interesting one that's coming out later this year is called Wild West Dynasty. Now, not everything could be Red Dead Redemption. We're still waiting to get more information on it, although it is scheduled to come out this year, but it's a unique mix of role-playing, survival, life simulation, resource management, and a city builder. Again, this isn't Red Dead Redemption, but it is another Western game. I expect some similarities to their other product, Medieval Dynasty, which is a little dated now, so this looks a little bit more modern, which is cool. Either way, I'm down with checking out managing a Western settlement, exploring mines, and doing all sorts of weird stuff. In weird other news, EA put out a stupid tweet saying they're a 10, but they only like playing single-player games. I mean, should anyone like Battlefield 2042? Is something wrong with you? And arguably EA's best games are story mode games. The whole Twitter thread is pretty friggin' hilarious, that's for sure. Full of people ripping the shit out of EA. One other quick piece is RIP Technoblade. You accomplished a whole lot in a short period of time, and that is pretty awesome. And it's a very unfortunate end. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Well, that's it for today, folks. Thanks again for sticking around, and let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this. Make sure to like it if you did, and subscribe if I've earned your subscription. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video or live stream.